Namaste friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Truth and Philosophy. I am Dr. Satyabrat Das. Tonight we will discuss on Sanatana Yoga for Everyone by Sri Krishna. Please do like, share and subscribe and give your valuable comments and suggest me for some new topic to be telecasted through my YouTube channel. Let us begin with the term yoga. Yoga really means the union of God. The practice of yoga leads to communication with Lord. Lord Krishna discussed in Bhagavad Gita the major form of yoga, that whatever may be the starting point, the end reached the same goal. Sri Krishna revealed that there are the only four realities in your life: the body, mind, emotion, and energy. Whatever you wish to do with yourself, it must be on these four levels. Whatever you wish to do, you can only do it with your body, with your mind, emotion, and with your energy. According to the Yoga Shastra by Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, there are four streams of yoga: Karma Yoga, the path of action; Bhakti Yoga, the path of emotions; Jnana Yoga, the path of intellect; Raja Yoga, the path of willpower. If you use your body or physical action to reach the ultimate, we call the Karma Yoga. That means the path of action. If you use your emotions and try to reach the ultimate, we call this Bhakti Yoga. That means the path of devotion. If you use your intelligence and try to reach the ultimate, we call the Jnana Yoga. That means the path of intelligence. If you transform your energy and try to reach the ultimate, we call it as Raja Yoga. That means internal action. Similarly, there are other yogas. These are Mantra Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and other kind of yogas. What is Karma Yoga? When Arjuna wanted to run away from the battlefield, giving up his Kshatriya Dharma, Sri Krishna stopped him and encouraged him to follow Arjuna's own Dharma. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, as devoted each to his duty, man attains the highest perfection. Lord Krishna emphasizes on karma or selfless action or duty for the duty's sake. It is the way that leads to attainment of ultimate goal of life through selfless work. It is the yoga of reunion or repudiation of the fruits of actions. If you work in any profession like police, teacher, doctor, engineer, etc., what is your karma? Is it selfless action? No, it is not selfless action. There is a reward behind our karma. Lord Krishna, the Lord of three worlds, acted the part of charioteer of Arjuna. He also acted the part of cowherd. Krishna says, do the action without any attraction because you have the right only on the action and have no right on the result. Do the action according to the dharma, whether you will get success or failure or get difficulty. You should not consider these consequences. Do these actions as sacrifice. Be excellent on your duty. Performance is better than reunification. Karma Yoga teaches us how to work for work's sake, unattached, and how to utilize to the best advantage the greater part of energies. Work is worship for the practitioners of Karma Yoga. Every work is turned into an offering unto the Lord. The Karma Yogi is not bound by karmas as he sets apart the fruit of his actions to the Lord. This picture represents the actions are driven by three gunas such as sattva, raja and tamas, and bring as it effect or fruit either pleasure or pain. Each work adds a link to our bondage of samsara and brings repeated births as karma drives the entire universe. This is the inevitable law of karma, but through the practice of Karma Yoga, the effects of karmas can be wiped out. A strict moral discipline and control of senses are essential for the practice of Karma Yoga. Cultivation of qualities such as tolerance, adaptability, sympathy, mercifulness, equality, vision, balance of mind, cosmic love, patience, firmness, humbleness, kindness, graciousness, self-control, non-violence, truthfulness, control in eating, drinking and sleeping, simple living and endurance are very necessary for attainment of Karma Yoga. The next important yoga after Karma Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, "Whoever offers me the devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I accept that, the pious offerings of the pure in heart." He emphasizes Bhakti Yoga as the path of emotion and devotion for God. He who lives God has neither wants nor sorrow. He does not hate any beings or objects. He never talks delight in sensual objects. He includes everyone in the warm embrace of his love. The person who has immense strength, courage, energy adopts Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga. The person who has deep knowledge and sharp intellect go for Jnana Yoga. The qualities are not possessed by everyone, but there is a common quality present in everybody, is the emotion to love, as it is a divine gift to mankind. It is the simplest way in which everyone can follow. One has to surrender himself before God. Bhaktis are one of the chief spiritual signs, and compare it just like an iron and a magnet. After constant touch, the iron becomes the magnet. It means the soul of the Jiva acquires some qualities of the divine soul. The picture represents Bhakti according to the Lord Krishna begins with first Saguna Bhakti and ends with Nirguna Bhakti. The qualities of pure Bhaktas are, as defined by Lord Krishna, are: he does not engage in wasteful talks and not even any bad thoughts. He can see same reflection of God within him and others. He always lives with satisfaction, neither sorrow nor excitement, and only thinks the glory of God. He does not get attached in either someone's love or criticism. There is no friends and no enemies for him, and treat them equally. He treats and tolerances equally all pains and opposites like heat, cold, likes, dislikes, pleasure and pain. Lord Krishna says that Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are very complex and rare. In initial stage, one should follow Bhakti Yoga as the one of the simplest way of getting liberalization. The third important yoga is Jnana Yoga or Jnana Yoga. In Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Yoga is the path of spiritual insight. Lord Krishna emphasizes Jnana Yoga as the path of knowledge and intellect. When we do action, we have to know what is right and wrong. If you do not have knowledge, then whatever action we do, we will not get the result, and those effects badly for the society and the entire world. Knowledge is everywhere, even in internet too. When we talk of knowledge, it is just like a light. If it is there within you, you can see the world more clearly and distinctly. If it is covered, then we can't see the purity in the world. The real knowledge is to know the whole world, and it is the spiritual knowledge which washes away all our karmas. The best reality is that when human understands that he is not the sole authority, but a caretaker of animals, birds, and nature of the planet, then he can see the same Atma in every fellow beings and let others to live in peace. And finally, he gives up all meaningless practices and understands the ultimate aim of life. Liberation is attained through knowledge of Brahman. Release is achieved through realization of identity of the individual soul with the Supreme Soul or Brahman. Great sages of India discovered their deep meditation innumerable spiritual truths about man and the universe. Shankaracharya is the greatest teacher of Advaita, who expounded the path of knowledge, preached Mayavada. According to him, the sun of knowledge, that is Atman, is always self-effulgent. It is the cloud of ignorance or Maya which hides the self. Look at this picture of Jnana Yoga. This picture has been taken from Mandukya Upanishad, where two identical birds that are eternal companions preach in the very same tree. The bird which is sitting on the top is perfectly sincere, silent, and majestic at all the times. It is ever blissful. The other bird, which is perching on the lower branches, eats the sweets and bitter fruits. It dances in joy sometimes. It is miserable at other times. It expresses joy now and weeps after some time. Sometimes it tastes an extremely bitter fruit and get disgusted. It looks up the beholds of other wonderful birds with golden feather, which is very blissful. It also wishes to become like a bird with a golden feather, but soon forget everything. Again it begins to eat the sweet and bitter fruits. It eats another fruit that exceedingly bitter and feels very miserable. It again and again tries to become like the upper bird who is sitting at the topmost part of in a tree. Gradually, it abandons eating the fruits and becomes peaceful and blissful like the upper bird. The upper bird is nobody but he is the God or Brahman. The lower bird is Jiva or individual soul who reaps the fruits of his karmas, that is pleasure and pain. He gets knocks and blows in the battle of life. He rises up and again falls down as the senses drag him down like a snake and ladder game. The picture represents Jnana, according to Lord Krishna, that the seeker gradually develops Vairagya or dissipation and discriminations, turns his mind towards God, doing Sravana, Manana, Jnana, meditation, and attains self-realization and enjoys the eternal bliss of Brahman. The last yoga is Raja Yoga. It is known as the royal path of yoga or the 8-step path of yoga or Kriya Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. In this yoga, Lord Krishna emphasizes as the science of controlling modifications of thoughts continuously rising in the mind and willpower. When the restless mind is brought under control through the practice of meditation, it generates tremendous power and releases energy dormant in a man. Raja Yoga teaches the discipline of mind and controls the senses and the mental thoughts waves that rises from the mind. Develop concentration and commune with God. Once someone asked to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa about the essence of Gita. He said in a very simple way, he said that just read Gita in a reverse order, that is tyagi or sacrifice. One has to sacrifice internally and lives within the soul. The Ashtanga Yoga are the part of Raja Yoga. The Ashtanga Yoga are the 8 limbs of Dhyana Yoga. These are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. Yama consists of Ahimsa. It is known as non-injury to others. Satya, truthfulness. Brahmacharya, continence. Astheya, non-stealing, aparigraha, non-receiving of gifts favorable to luxury. Niyama is the second option of Ashtanga Yoga. It is observance. It comprises of Suchita, it means internal and external purity, Santosha or satisfaction, Tapasa or strictness, Swadhyaya or study of scriptures and repetition of mantras, Ishvara Prarthana or self surrender to God. He who established in Yama and Niyama will have quick progress in the practice of yoga. Asana is the third part of Ashtanga Yoga. It is a steady pose or a fixed posture in sitting, standing, sleeping, walking, etc. There are various asanas for attainment of Raja Yoga. These are Muladhara Chakra Asana, Swadhisthana Chakra Asana, Manipuraka Chakra Asana, Anahata Ashram, Anahat Chakra Asana, Visuddhi Chakra Asana, and Sahasrara Chakra Asana. The fourth part of Ashtanga Yoga is Pranayam. It is the regulation of breath. This produces serenity and steadiness of mind as well as good health. There are various pranayams proposed. These are Chandra Kriya, Surya Kriya, Anulam Bilom, Kapalbhati, Tri Mahabandhas, and Nauli Kriya. The fifth part of Ashtanga Yoga is Pratyahar. Pratyahar is abstraction or withdrawal of senses from their objects. One must practice Pratyahar by looking within and can have introversion. These are the part of Pratyahar one has to follow. Leave bad habits, truthfulness, brahmacharya, simple lifestyle, eat less and sattvic food, control over five senses. To control signifies control your ego. The sixth part of Ashtanga Yoga is Dharana. Dharana is concentration of mind on any objects or internal chakra or Ishta Devata or any kind of deity in your mind. Number 7 is Dhyana. Then comes, after Dharana, there comes Dhyana or meditation or an unceasing flow of ideas connected with one object. And the 8th one is called Samadhi. This leads to Samadhi where meditator and the meditated become one. The yogi is freed from births and death. There are various processes of meditation given to you. The process of meditation, first, these are listed here. First, completely do your formalities honestly. Ensure that your body, mind, and mood are stable. Find a calm place and sit. Sit in a comfortable Padmasana and straight the spine. Do Sambhavi Kriya in part of opened eyes for 15 minutes. Close eyes and focus in between the eyebrow. Get space in both the jaws and tongues to be touched at upper palate. Take long breath 7 or 5 times in a minute and concentrate to breathe and the sound of Anahat Chakra. Try to avoid body and mind disturbances. Stay with zero thought, with inner light and sound till your ability and get Samadhi, a blissful state. After this discussion, we understand that the yoga of synthesis is the most suitable and strong form of practices. In the soul, there are three qualities: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. If you want to see your face clearly in a mirror, you must remove the dirt in the mirror. You can see your face clearly in the bottom of the lake only if the impurity is removed. The water that is agitated by the wind is rendered still, and if the moss that is lying on the surface removed. The four paths are, in fact, one in which the four different temperament emphasizes one and other of the inseparable constituents. It is the saddest truth is that most people are not studying Bhagavad Gita in India, in which Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna. Who is Arjuna? Arjuna is each of us. He teaches each of us through each step of yoga processes. With this, I end my session. Please suggest me with your valuable comments and feedback. Till then, thank you for watching. Namaste.